Hello guys, welcome to my channel, Jura Tempest Federation. In our previous episode, we have seen how the money issue is resolved. If you have not watched the previous episode, I will put the link in the description below. To quick warning, this video contains spoilers from a light novel. But before we proceed further, please like, subscribe to my channel and hit notification bell for further update. Now in this episode, we see how further meeting proceeded. Now without further delay, let's proceed further. Now we just had to wait for the 1,500 gold coins exchanged at the Dwarven Kingdom, and we would have enough money. The problem had finally been resolved. I was relieved of a huge burden. Diablo commented, "This is great," Rimuru-sama, as he poured me some tea. I happily drank it as he then poured some for Gazelle and Omija as well. Although someone wanted to make Rimuru-sama a laughingstock to see to your inability to follow rules, their plan now has completely failed. Benimaru also gave a fearless smile. Someone tried to outsmart me, to prevent me from gaining renown. Now their plan had been exposed and defeated. We didn't need to apologize to the vendors and had saved face. It was as though I'd relieved a boulder from my heart. My mood gradually became better. At that moment, Omija suddenly commented something worth pondering on. But I figured, even if you didn't have time to prepare the gold coins, someone would be willing to assist you. What do you mean by that? I didn't understand and asked straight away. In order to make a subject obedient, rather than using sticks to coerce or intimidate, it is better to just do them a favor. It is simpler and has a higher chance of success. Omija gave a smile as she finished her sentence. There was no doubt about it, that was the smile of a ruler. Diablo was suddenly inspired by her words. I see, you are saying that someone will enter uninvited to try to amend things. Yes, it is very likely. However, even if such a person shows up, my guess is that he will be someone else's puppet. Kufufufufu, what an interesting thought. They first caused the problem, and they tried to do us favors by helping us. That's certainly a plausible plan, but even if they have no coins with them, they can just take out some proof certificate. To let the high-ranked officers of the nation see how untrustworthy you all are while also demonstrating their own credibility. In that way, they would be selling you a favor. How greedy, that's truly the thought pattern of humans. I've learned a new lesson. Could that mean? In order to sell us a favor, will the person trying to get close to us appear and convince the retailers? And that this person is only a pawn that is following orders and can be discarded at any moment. I see, if we trust a person, they will be getting close to us, and if we raise our suspicion, will they abandon the plan? But of course, perhaps they only want us to lose face, yet I had a feeling that Omija's prediction would come true. Diablo seemed to think such a possibility was high as well. He had been pondering with a chilling smile. I don't really understand something that complicated, but do you know who is behind all this? Could it be a member of the Western Nation Council is trying to test us? Benimaru asked. His rude tone did not upset Omija as a smile emerged on her face. I'm not sure about it either. After all, our dynasty was never part of the council. But if it's that mister over there, surely he has learned something, hasn't he? Omija turned her eyes to a certain direction. In her line of sight was Miles, who had been pondering by himself. Were you talking about me? He seemed rather nervous upon being appointed. Soon enough though, he regained composure and spoke up in a rather troubled tone. I did hear some rumors. Apparently in private, there is a subcommittee that runs the entire Western nations. They seem to be some high-ranked ruler among the council. But that's just a rumor. After all, each council member is representative of their nation, all of them are nobles, and all of their identities are verified. According to Miles, there seemed to be some rumor among the merchants. They claimed there to be a group of dominators at the center of power. Miles said that such rumors were no different from conspiracy theories, and that he personally did not believe them. If any suspicious personnel come up to mediate, I shall investigate his activities and expose his background. Sae, kneeling next to me, said. I didn't even realize he was there. I suppressed my shock and nodded rather pretentiously. You scared me. You didn't even make a sound. I've told you before, Your Majesty. The residents here are far too inhuman. Visiting here yourself is far too dangerous. Kukuku, but that was quite the intriguing experience. By the way, Rimuru-san, could I ask you a question? What does she want to know at this point? Right, ask away. I would like to form an alliance with you, but before that, I would like to hear your thoughts. The aura emitted by Omija suddenly changed. She was looking straight at me without any intention of hiding her prowess as a ruler. An immense pressure ensued that was almost suffocating for everyone at the scene. Even Gazelle was no match for her. This was Hero's Haki. To tell, given this to be the case, I began to use my Demon Lord's Haki against her as well. We stared at each other to battle it out with our sights. I wished to confront her directly, so I did not flinch as I looked right at Omija. What do you plan to do with that demon? That most dangerous primordial. Primordial? Although I'm not sure what Omija is on about, was the demon referring to Diablo? He's indeed strong, but he's definitely not most dangerous, right? Nothing, I'm not planning to do anything. Diablo has been very satisfying working under me. Is there a problem? Allow me to ask differently then. If that demon loses control, how do you plan to take responsibility? Lose control? He did concern me with that. Even this had been seen through by Omija. You could tell just how concerned I had been. Indeed, it wouldn't be strange for Diablo to lose control at any time. But that wasn't just a problem unique to Diablo. Despite my unwillingness to admit, I also have the troubled child that is Xian. She seemed to be concerned about me, but that was probably no problem for Omija-san to take care of. Well, about that, I will stop him before he loses control. That's all I can do to prevent casualties, isn't it? If there's any other way, please enlighten me. I could only try to intervene before he lost control. Diablo seemed rather happy that I said so. No, you are just one of my problematic children. What should I do now that you are so happy? I wasn't the only one confused. Hey, hold on. Ignore my accidental transformation back to my own self. But did you just say you are going to stop that demon? And take responsibility? Right. He's indeed quite prone to losing control, but lately he's been listening to my words, and has been better behaving lately, I answered with confidence. Diablo and Xian, if they kept where they were right now, there shouldn't be anything to worry about. Although Xian said so seemingly excluding herself, it made me uneasy. But all in all, there shouldn't be any concern. Hearing my answer, a girlish smile emerged on Omija's face. Hey, Elalu-chan, did you hear? Demon Lord Rimuru's got some bearing. He's got a lot more grandeur than you. Elalu's wrinkles increased several-fold. Surely you had your share of hard time as well, serving a master so free-spirited. I comforted him internally. Isn't this enough, Omija Dono? Rimuru has spoken, he has my support as well. If anything happens, I, Gazelle Worgen, promise to lend Rimuru my aid. Showing a sense of reliance I had not seen for a long time, Gazelle verbally supported me. Omija peeked at us pleasantly. And next. I've understood your view on the matter. But if you are to stand against humanity, I shall stop you with all I have. I hope that we will be able to maintain a good relationship and deepen the bond between our nations. Elalu. Yes, ma'am. I've approved the alliance between Sorcerer's Dynasty Sarian and Jura Tempest Federation. Go handle the rest of the procedure. Yes, ma'am. As expected from an emperor. The way she ordered Elalu was filled with majesty. I need to pick up a thing or two from her. Then, if anything goes wrong, just come find me or Gazelle-chan. Don't you lose control now. Omija said to me. I don't get it. Weren't we just talking about Diablo and Xian losing control? And somehow the topic landed on me. Telling me not to lose control. How rude. I mean, despite how I look, I'm very considerate when doing planning. Don't put it that way as if I'm gonna lose control that easily. Rimuru, who was it that started this festival? Gazelle was staring at me. If you asked me, I could only answer, me of course. I think it's Miles-kun. That's not true at all. He didn't want to comply. Okay, fine. I get it, I'll negotiate with people properly next time. That's the spirit, I'll be counting on you. Normally this is not something we'd say to a king of another nation, but you are an exception. So don't blame us. If they talk too much, it would interfere with our politics, Gazelle claimed. But I really didn't seem to agree with many ideas in this world. I hope I'd be able to discuss these with them. This was not a matter of good or bad timing, but dependent on whether Gazelle and the rest felt necessary. It was nothing bad for me. I was lucky to get the two nations' support against the cultural destruction of the angels. After solving the money issue, the conference somehow became a gathering to scold me. But I'd let it pass. The hard topic was over. Now that I'd had my agreement with Omija, we would be building a good relationship between our nations in the future. I had no intention of discussing it with her, yet this unexpected encounter yielded great progress. I was going to dismiss the conference just before Omija wanted to continue. She looked at me very seriously, seemingly in a hurry. Unsure as to what she wanted, I asked nervously as well. Is there any other problem? No problem at all. It's a personal request. Please introduce me to Master Yoshida. Hold on, Your Majesty, what are you on about now? That's just shameless to ask right now. And I thought she had some terribly challenging favor. I see how it is. Seeing how panicked Alilud looked, I imagined it was nothing severe. Yoshida-san came to our nation at the request of Shuna. Right now, he was contributing his culinary abilities for us, and I had not asked him what he planned to do after the festival, either. I personally hoped that he would remain in our nation, but that ultimately depended on Yoshida-san. If it was just introducing him to Onishi, that shouldn't be a problem. Easy peasy. But, please don't force Yoshida-san to do anything, I answered Onishi without hesitation. That is most certain. Onishi was happy to accept as well. We would introduce them after the celebration. And so, the meeting of the big three quietly concluded. That's it for today, guys. See you next one. For further more update, please like, share and subscribe. And do not forget to push notification bell.